Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to your Monday night community race. I am Invenerable. Joining me in the booth tonight is Alice Hill. Allie, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I am doing great, and how are you doing?
Hey, looking forward to seeing these flags mixed up a bit more. Everyone's had such a huge dose of the Fabul Gauntlet flags that getting these Monday night weeklies going again is pretty fun. And tonight we have a little bit of spice for y'all with our featured racers: Anadil, Dia, Jeebus, and Tybalt, all very good. Uh, what struck you when you looked over this flag set, Allie? What do we need to look out for tonight, in your opinion?
Trap chests.
Trap chests. Yeah, we do not have the summon bosses or the lunar bosses in the pool, but the 29 some odd trap chests are available. Or I can count. 5, 10, 11, 18, 19, 20, 29. Yeah, I had it right. Cool. Uh, what kind of things can you find in these trap chests? What kind of fights are we going to deal with tonight that we don't normally have to roll through?
Honestly, I'm hoping to see some red and blue dragons kind of wreck everybody's day.
Oh yeah, the lunar subterranean fun police of Free Enterprise. Not just red dragons like for our Dragon Warrior rando friends. We get the reds and the blues coming at you in tandem. Uh, Another thing I like though is that Valvalis decided that her other fellow Fiends of Elements are all scrubs, and she's running with a new team now.
And Valvalis can be in some really nasty places depending on your party.
Yep. Well, we are off. Just a reminder, we do have to kill Ogopogo, Wyvern, Valvalis, and Odin to win the game. There will not be a Zeromus fight tonight. These are all the butts you have to worry about, and we get a Kane Palom Magma Key start. And that's a Sparkle handing it out. I wonder if that's our Ogo or our Wyvern.
And it is nice to see an early Palom. You can definitely get him some Quake pretty early.
Yeah, this is a Magma Key start. T Wildish, so you can find some really expensive things to sell and standard shops. So it's very likely that one of the 3 gated underground shops has sirens for sale. You get those, you pop 1 or 2. Oh, there are also probably hourglasses or coffins down there. So we are seeing some uniform action by Anadel and Dia, both wanting to get underground, wanting to get this kid online ASAP, and some more vanilla looting of Barren Town by Jeebus and Tybalt.
And we see everybody's favorite bard there in the Baron Inn.
Hanging out with Mylon or Mylon Z, one or the other, hard to just tell for sure. Till you actually enter the fight, and we probably won't be seeing that. Not for an Edward, not anytime soon. Couple other things that have been added into this flag set that you wouldn't have seen in the Full Gauntlet races. Adamant armors are available, so T Wildish, you go to one of those places that can actually give you loot all the way up to tier 7, maybe you get a lucky Adamant armor. Pink Tail will also be kind of an exciting find for anyone. And that Edward in the Baron Inn can equip a spoon if we find it for that sweet 255 attack power.
Yeah, I would think if we see a spoon pretty early, they're going to be hightailing it back to Baron for that Edward.
Annadale going right for Tomra, wanting to get a little bit of loot, gonna get the 6 chests, validate his seed by talking to the job dwarf, a textile designer tonight. Gets a samurai armor and a soma drop and a change rod. All sell pretty decently, but they're also all pretty good gear for these 2 characters.
And only a silver staff up by the item shop in the Dwarf Castle.
Let's get a peek at the Tomra item shop. No sirens here, huh? Freebie fight in the waterfall. Probably won't be seeing anyone finishing that off, but Jeebus gives us a peek at the Eblin Royals enjoying their spa day.
And one thing you don't usually see, especially in the Football Gauntlet, is the amount of looting these players are doing and where they are looting.
Yeah, the T Wildish fundamentally uses the same distribution as the T Pro that we're. Oh, that's a foo. Did we mention that character spots are relaxed here as well? Sorry. So T Wildish is T Pro, but shifted up one notch. So you're gonna find good loot everywhere, but some spots will be weighted more heavily. And with C Relaxed, that food does not have to be gated behind a key item. If you just take out that Hobbs fight, boom, have yourself the Lunar Sage.
Now, I did not see if he comes um, fully powered up or if they're going to have to take on some bosses to get him his spell.
He still has to be powered up. Vanilla Foo is not enabled. So you'd still have to hunt down some extra bosses, but it does not take a whole lot to get him rolling.
And Antidale found the trap chest here in the Fey March, so can now loot the rest of these with no worry.
Ooh, those Zeus gauntlets, very nice. Plus 10 strength and vitality, giant defense. Very great weapon for your melee hitters. And in the key item chest, tower key. No keyless tower required tonight.
And we just see some casual strength rings for sale here in the armor shop.
Oh, and I missed Anadel picking up that defense sword. Though it's only tier 6 instead of tier 7, because it doesn't get any real big, it doesn't get any notable elemental or racial bonuses like the Kane's Ultimate Spears do. It's just the straight out heaviest hitting weapon for Kane, along with a huge vitality boost. So the Defender and Zeus Gauntlets, very good start for a Kane on this Lex set.
And it looks like Tybalt has found our Odin, the first of our 4 bosses we need to defeat.
Yeah, Odin was hanging up here guarding that Fu, so everyone's getting their Fusoya on today. Doesn't take a lot with a few lightning ones at this location, only about 1250 HP to burn through. And Anatel, in the final cluster of 4 chests in the Fey March, finds a Siren. I don't think we saw them in any shop. Did Dia see them in the Dwarf Castle item shop? I missed it when she was looking.
I do not believe so, but she's going pretty fast, and it's a little hard to read that bright pink.
True, true. I'm sure Anadel will look around here. Ninja Debugger wanting to know the general rundown of race conditions. There's not going to be a Zeromus fight tonight. Your goal is to fight 4 of the rudest bosses in Free Enterprise: Ogopogo, Wyvern, Valvalis, and Odin. Loot's a little spicy. You can get a pretty easy Fu, as Tybalt just showed us. And a lot of boss locations are not in the key item pool. It's the vanilla locations and the trap chests. To give a quick rundown of those trap chests, there is, of course, the Flame Dog in the Tower of Za. That's available right out the gate. 3 in Eblin Castle, always available when you start a new game. Eblin Cave and Upper Babel have a couple that we can't get to without a hook. Lower Tower Babel, which we can get to underground, has 4 alerts with 4 different summons. The Cave of Summons has the Warlock chest. The Sylph Cave is absolutely stacked with trap chests. And then the final 10, 11 of them are all gated by a Darkness Crystal, which we've not seen yet.
Now, how long do you think it'll take these runners to start looking at some of those more out-of-the-way trap chests?
I think it depends entirely on how long it takes them to get their teams online. As soon as you get I believe we've seen Cursed Rings. If you get Quake on Palom, plus a Cursed Ring Anchor, and you have a relatively filled out party, you can actually ambush most trap chests with a Quake before the monsters inside can do anything. So having that knowledge of the ATB manipulation will do our racers a lot of favors tonight. And I anticipate we'll be seeing that in action rather soon, as we see these eggs getting scrambled by both Dia and Antidel right out the gate.
And I was able to see on Antidale's side no sirens for sale in Dwarf Castle, but they did have coffins.
Nice. So sirens, this is the one siren we found, not quite enough to get Quake, very close. Gets that Palom to level 22. Uh, well, there's still Eblin Cave. That has an item shop that could have them. The little Hummingway bunny shop could have them. So there are places we can find that extra infusion of XP. And I wonder, it'd be really cool if there was just a seed roll tonight where there were not Sirens or Cell. But with that Foo on Hobbs, probably not going to slow you down that much. Ooh, and more
And
Divergence.
we do see some interesting pickups from the Sylph Cave. Did see a lightsaber there.
Great weapon for Cecil. It's not quite his top tier, but it'll dish out the holy damage, and it'll sell for a pretty penny too if you just need the scratch.
And since that Cecil is not guaranteed, you may just want to get rid of it and buy more coffins.
That's true. The characters are not guaranteed on this flag set. Duplicates are allowed. We could end up with just a bunch of Foos and Palums and Canes. I'd be down with that. So we do have a little more divergence. Typalt and Jeebus kind of splitting up to take care of places in the overworld. Anadel going to check all the freebies as quickly as he can, wants to come up and get that Sheila 1 check and go ahead and do Fabul. Dia is exploring Tower of Lower Babel. Doesn't want to deal with the boss up there, but does have a tower key for an easy fight, and there are 4 trap chests in here, of course.
Yeah, with this party and those levels, Magus Sisters might be a little bit much.
Yeah, you would definitely want at least Quake, and maybe a White Mage, maybe some bonus life potions. Now this Asura fight, gonna be much easier.
And we see.
Baigen, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say we see Baigen here on Antidale's screen. Not a bad place to see.
Not at all. Only about 1800-ish HP split 3 ways here. You'd much rather see him here than at heavy hitting spots later in the game, because he's not just one part. He gets the left hand and the right hand, and they both all beat the snot out of you. So you like seeing him off the table this early for sure.
And on Tybalt's side, I believe he is up on Hobbs and taking on the second, or sorry, not Hobbs, Brain.
Ordeals.
Thank you. On Ordeals, taking the Baron Guards.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward spot. The Mylon Z location actually gets pretty decent physical hitting and spell casting. So they can be kind of rude at this spot. It looks like they've been muted though, so not gonna have to worry about their counter spells. Just gonna be a battle of attrition at this point. Sheila 1 item is a rat tail. Not gonna do Anadel any favors till we find a hook to go along with it. And Dia here does awaken a very angry doggy via the alert. I believe her cane is well enough equipped to finish this off on his own. But that Palom does not like being in the front row.
It's going to be cutting it close, but this shot should kill it. There we go.
Making us sweat up there. Finds the package. I'm a little surprised she reset out of that. It is entirely possible that one of our 4 required boss hunts is that Kaipo fight. Okay, I think she ran it right back. She wants it after all, just wants to get it on slightly better terms.
Probably wants some experience for her Palom. That should get him up to Quake.
Let's see, is that 2100 do it? Not quite. Gonna need one more. And we find the Twin Harp in Antlion Cave, so music is on the menu if Jeebus elects to chase it for us. Oh, you're right, at the cannon room. I did thank you, Dissatisfied. I forgot about that Asura battle. That would have put him right over the edge. Antidel finding that readily available Foo. I'm gonna be glad to add him to the team.
And only a silver apple up at the top of ordeals.
But we do have a Sparkle, and we know we... Oh, these Lunars. Not the Wyvern, not the Ogopogo. But we did, clear out 3 more boss fights for our Mop.
And Jeebus giving us a look at what is in the Mist Cave today.
Yeah. In addition to those 4 specific bosses, of course, D-Mist will still be gaining a key item on this flag set. We didn't put that freebie in today. And with this Foo, killing easy bosses, you love to do it. You want to get his spell suite filled out. So it doesn't shock me to see players taking both the CPU fight and that King and Queen Evelyn one back in the waterfall.
And it's another nasty boss that you won't have to worry about in a much harder location.
Oh yeah, nothing more annoying than when you run into, say, CPU at like the vanilla element spot, and the nodes all have, like 15,000 HP, the big orb has 65,000, just a pain. Seeing it at D-Mist, very nice. And Tybalt has apparently named his Tellas after me, so I know Meteo now, wherever I am. Dia
And,
continuing to loot her way down the tower. Don't think I've seen any more key items pop up on that tracker since the package.
and Jeebus deciding he does want this bard, goes ahead and takes the first fight in the Baronet.
And, there's also the fact that you can't see the second fight until you clear the first one. But also 2 more boss fights for Fu. Yeah, even if Eddie's not exactly the dream at this point, you still want to go ahead and get this knowledge.
And just some dolls hanging out here.
Dia clears another alert, finds, I believe that said Luca key. That yellow does shine out a little hard, hard to contrast with the pink. But I'm pretty sure that's another early option. So rounding out that key item selection pretty quickly up here.
And we will see what she gets from defeating that cannon room.
Did you know that the big doll counters ice magic with a wave attack?
Today I learned.
And Tower Key gives a long blade. Yay! Not that surprising, given how the algorithm works for distributing key items through the trapped chest pool. Board face does make it to where no location can have too much of a good thing. The fact we already saw 2 other key items in the tower makes it fairly unsurprising that the cannon room itself didn't dish out anything.
And I believe Tybalt just learned that Mylon Z absorbs ice magic.
Yep, that's true too. Lots of twin harps popping up for our other racers as well. Baka making the good point that when you do fight the big doll in vanilla, you don't have ice magic of your own. In the Japanese version, you may have been able to find a Notice or a Boreas item that would use ice magic and thus activate the counter. But in our US version, no way of doing that. Kind of funny.
And Antidale, with his Quake Kid fully online, easily takes down the CPU.
Oh yeah, having found that one siren and popped it underground, this kid is in business here for clearing through the overworld very quickly. Dia tearing through this boss is going to be very pleased when she finds her Fu. As long as she doesn't forget Hobbs. It is a boss hunt, so I can't see any character, I mean any racer, especially one of Dia's caliber, forgoing it. Uh, and having these, it's kind of cheeky actually, because a Fu who doesn't know a lot of spells kind of just takes up actions in combat. Whereas just having the two characters right now, Palom can sweep things with magical weaknesses, Kane can destroy things that don't really care about your spells. So actually saving a little time not having Fu here, I think. And lots of crisscrossing and revisits by our racers right now. Just want to remind everyone that this is a big old community race that everyone is welcome to join in. You just got to be on our Discord. These races are done using our Discord race bot. And tonight, we have... Did you get a count on how many racers we actually have tonight?
No, I never went in the race room.
Okay, let me go pull it up. That's 5, 8, 12... Got 19. 19 racers. So, pretty big pool tonight. Anyone who wants to win will have to take some risks, some chances to beat that many foes to the punch.
And we see Antidale is through and picks up his Dragoon Gauntlet and his
Excellent. And the old War Master Motos with the 5 gift subs to the community. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Glad to always have you supporting the Free Enterprise family.
And for those who got their emotes, be sure if we get music tonight to throw out them freen harps.
Unfortunate. Well, in a couple more weeks, we'll also start back our Friday night community races. Only doing one right now, as the Football Gauntlet's been winding down. But once complete, you're going to have 2 chances every Monday and Friday night to get in and test your mettle against everyone else. Anadel being the first to make the play to chase the Baron key, which I'm guessing that was from Fabul?
Must have been. I have no idea.
And our tracker Gambit doing the amazing job. Did get it from Fabul Defense.
This is why we pay him the big bucks.
And I'm not been paying full attention to our Fu's spell list, but I do think that the 2 main things a lot of racers will want before going for that Twin Harp are going to be the Berserk spell, or Bacchus ones like we saw for Cell in the Underworld, and I would say the Exit spell. You don't like having to do that entire Walk of Shame back out of the cave. J items give you these abilities, but Fu will learn them naturally given enough boss fights. Oh, we do see Exit on Antidale's Fu.
And I believe this is a 2/3 chance of being a required boss.
Well, not the Lunar Sparkle our racers were hoping for. So we've seen Plague, we've seen D-Lunars. The other 3, Pale Dim, saw it, and the next Lunar Sparkle we see will be a required one.
And Plague does not take kindly to being jumped on and just melt.
One of the floating monsters of the game does have an air weakness, which, if you're using an actual spear, means you'll get that bonus damage with Kane. If you're using a sword, you don't get it, but you're still... With the gear that these parties have, we're dishing out so much damage that no overworld boss is really going to stand a chance.
Is this even randomized?
Yep. Yep. Waiting for it. Waiting for it.
But with this Fusoya, I do not see this turtle being long for this world.
Not to mention the 2100 jump from that well-equipped Dragoon. And it may not hit the weakness because the wave was up, but an Ice 3 from Fu at this point in the game, yeah, that'll do a cool 2500. Turtle's down. Tybalt's treading some ground that Dia already covered, and Dia may be the first one to make a run at the Dwarf Castle fights. Well, actually no, Jeebus was just a second ahead. Annadelle gets an edge in Baron, which I know we saw at least a long blade. Oh, the long blade was from the Tower Key reward. Did Sheila give a ninja sword as well?
No, Sheila gave the rat tail.
Oh, yeah, that was it, thank you. But still, on this flag set, shouldn't be too hard to find good weapons for Kane. Except for the Edward, this is kind of a dream party. We got a Kane, an Edge, a Fu, a Palom. I miss those days.
All we need is a Paladin Cecil with an Excalibur or Crystal Sword to kind of round this out. Healing? No, who needs it?
Long walk down to the garbage pail. Huh. Well, Rydia confirmed not appearing in this seed. That's a Bahamut summon.
And Jeebus gets his nuke on Fu.
Very nice. That Fu is going to be clearing through these bosses even faster now. Bahamut, you have shown up at the wrong time, son.
And Antidale does have a long blade in his inventory, as well as a full moon to back row glitch his edge.
Antidale diving down to the barren basement throne to the Odin spot, finds a squid sitting on it. Not so bad. It's going to hit hard at the start, but if you can take a few tentacles off, should be fine. The main thing is you need to make these decisions quickly. Annadale's rolling here at battle speed 1, and if you're at battle speed 1 and you don't get those inputs in, Octomammoth will slap you silly. And the slapping has begun. Has that Cure 4 queued up, though. Probably going to be okay here, but I'm sure there was a little bit of sweat going on.
And Dia and Jeebus have gotten through their dwarf castle fight. We'll see what Luca's wearing around her neck today.
Well, we found an edge in Dwarf Castle, and we found a really spicy weapon to put on him. That ninja, Full Moon Murasame, not shabby at all. No actual progression, though. I'm feeling Sylph Cave-ish. I think Sylph Cave is where we're going to get our Darkness Crystal tonight.
Yeah, quite a few trap chests there. Never a fun place to go, but these racers might just have to suck it up and do it.
But it is rather shameful. All 4 of our featured racers have that twin harp, and not a single one of them anywhere near Troya. Conkers, no one on the featured restream has done Castle Eblin. No one has checked out that flame dog in the Tower of Zot. So I know that if I am extremely guilty of this. Okay. If you give me a starting magma key on a trap chest seed, I completely forget Eblin Castle exists. It just goes right over my head until I've full cleared everything else, and by then I'm heartbroken over the whole thing. So, Annadelle gets another defense sword here, but also gets nuke. I think we're going to see a hike out here in spite of no real value.
And Dia making the dive down into the Luca cave, sealed cave.
Were those Artemis arrows? Ooh, nice. A little less terrified of those fun police dragons on the moon now.
But have we seen a bow?
I mean, I'm sure there's one somewhere for sale. I just don't think. I think on. Well, here's the thing. T Wildish, you don't see a lot of racers visiting weapon shops. You will probably see an armor shop visit for a cursed ring. But other than that, the loot you find is so good that there's just not a lot of shop checking going on. Silk Cave has. Oh, Dathus. Dathus.
Dathus, please. Ooh, a Moonveil.
Moonveil, wow! And Dark Knight Cecil guarding it. Free bosses are enabled. Just gotta soak up 3 Dark Waves. So let's see. We are still hunting 3 of our bosses. All 4 of our racers, I believe, have completed Odin and Odin alone. We have not seen Ogopogo, Wyvern, or Valvalis. Of course, there are 2 bosses. Even with that Darkness Crystal that Diaz found, there are still 2 bosses gated by the hook. 1 gated by Earth Crystal. You could be real cheeky and go for the single dip. There's one behind that package, and Twin Harp we've not seen. And that's that. And the rest of them are Moon and Giant. So nearly every boss spot unlocked now for Dia. Only about 5 of the 34 not accessible, if I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 34 not accessible. I wonder if we're going to see a run at the moon to just try to reset and just find these 3 in a hurry.
And a casual ribbon just picked up on the way. And it looks like Jeebus is giving these very, very angry mobiles another try.
Yeah, the mobiles are a little annoying. The funny thing about a lot of the trap chests in the Sylph Cave is that they clog their own queues. The mobiles and the centipedes are the only 2 that don't really do this because there just aren't enough of them. But the groups of like 6 ghosts, 2 trees, 2 mobiles, the lady and all her frogs, etc., they all actually clog their own queues and help you get a turn in sooner.
And only a Sand Ruby for the trouble.
I don't think anyone's peaked that character. If it's a duplicate Foo, I call that a win.
And it looks like Dia might be clearing up a few more spots here on the Earth before giving that Darkness Crystal a shot.
Hey, it makes sense. Powering up the Foo, good call. Now, if our Tracker Gambit will help, did Tybalt actually fight the Maga Sisters at the top of the tower? Reset out. Magus still undone.
And we did see Jeebus pick up an Artemis bow, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Nope, that's what bitter apple spray is for. Okay, that was dumb and an in-joke between commentators. Sorry, chat. I do love it when the enemies in the Sylph Cave end up in the actual Sylph house. These are our houseplants. Why are you destroying our houseplants, you monster?
Those are some very angry houseplants.
It's just their little shop of horrors. Ooh, that's an Excal. Cecil confirmed not appearing in this scene. Uh-oh. Jeebus did not run buffer that Quake, and we are about to see some roasty toasty flavors on the ground here. Antidel, are you the hero we've been waiting for? Or are you just shopping? There's the cursed ring. It's in the Troya armor shop.
Well, hopefully that gives him the little bit of a push to go pick up or go try that twin heart.
Jeebus, I think, is showing he ain't afraid of no ghost. Wants the X-Cal back too. I mean, you can throw it even if you don't find a Cecil. There's the run buffer.
And Antidel, being the people's champion, is on his way to Cave Magnus.
All right, fingers crossed for a required boss here. I would like to get 3 encores tonight. That's just me, though.
Make Dathus do some work, having to switch everybody's audio around. And Dia has finished up the defensive bowl and gets her Baron key.
And Jeebus finds the Legend Sword, so we have the key item Holy Sword, and then the really good upgraded version from Vanilla side by side. So more key items, I guess, if you're really hoping to hit 10 this seed, but otherwise not a lot of value.
And without having to face that, face Aromas, really not a whole lot of reason to get all the way up to obscenely high levels.
Also, yeah, so Jeebus definitely probably not feeling like the value is in Sylph Cave this time. Dia, the only one of our featured runners holding that Darkness Crystal, but does still have a lot of very quick and easy boss checks to make, and perfectly understandable that she'd take care of those nets sooner rather than later. Ideally, if you go to the moon, you want to finish on the moon. You don't want to have to worry about flying back and forth and back and forth. But I'm gonna mute my mic. I want to listen to the song. Dathus. Dathus.
Dathus, please.
Yeah, I do believe that is a twin harp rendition of the Game of Thrones introduction, slightly altered in a way to where it's one that has not had to have been removed from the pool yet, and that is a not randomized Dark Elf. Dark Elf at Dark Elf, not a required boss. Anadel's gonna stick with it though and see what the key item is.
And Fu showing us that if you have Nuke, that magic defense really doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah, it's set really high here, but with enough power, enough oomph, you can blow right through it. Wow.
Such value.
Pardon me. Well, let's look over what is actually unseen on the blue planet. No one has actually taken care of that Magus Sisters, Dr. Luge. No one has peaked the first boss in Tower of Zod, or the Flame Dog chest for that matter. Dia has that package, but never went to peak the character boss there. What else are we leaving out that's actually not been seen by any? Oh, Evelyn Castle. Is that everything?
Did anyone do the Warriors chest in Feymerge?
Oh, excellent point. Everyone who went there so early they didn't bother with it. So. Oh, and Jeebus did not full clear Sylph Cave. He only took the south route to the actual ferries. So several of those still left. But it's looking increasingly like we are going to have to go to the moon. I'm really hoping that we end up with a seed where we do have to get the hook or the earth crystal from a trapped chest on the moon and have to come back and finish the final fight that way. It'll probably end up being just they're all side by side on the moon freebies, but we can hope. We can hope. We can hope.
Well, to be fair, there's not a whole lot free about Wyvern and some of those spots, unless you've got that cursed ring, which I think Antidale was the only one we saw pick up.
That is true. We do see a lot of racers making it a point to leave at least one character, seemingly Eddie, dead, not letting him gain any XP so that they can maintain proper anchoring if you end up having to deal with that dragon in a rude spot. And our tracker Gambit pointing out that Dia has one too.
And we have 3 of our players here in Baron Castle.
And they're all about to be fighting 3 different bosses. Come on, Dia, start the fight before the crumble's done. Start it, start it, start it. Now, some of these racers are going to be finding, are going to be finding their second edges. Jeebus and Anadel kind of doing a crisscross applesauce, each finding the other's edge. And neither one adding them to the team likes the balance they're striking already. I can see that, though. Finding enough weapons to properly outfit 2 edges, it can be very tricky even on this potent flag set. The nice thing about duplicate Cecils and Canes is, well, you only need a weapon to get them swinging hard. You don't need one for each hand.
Now, at this point, would you pick up another Cecil or, say, another Cane?
Depends on the weapons I'm rocking. Anadel, I know, has 2 defense swords. We saw Jeebus get that X-Cal. I'm very comfortable adding a Cecil to the team at this point, especially in Anadel's case where there's a cursed ring already found. You don't really need to keep Eddie around for anchoring if you have a cursed ring. You can always just put it on Fu in a pinch.
And let's see where Dia and Antidale are heading now.
Dia, I really do wonder if Dia's forgotten those 3 spots in Evelyn Castle. Probably not. It'd be really funny if one of those did have the hook or the earth crystal and it is required, just because of how easy it is to overlook them. But Dia's about to take a run at some moon bosses. And, may just clean up these other 3 and win outright very quickly. Just depends on what's up here.
And Antidale finding some sorcerer robes for sale there in the Tomra shop.
So, more crisscrossing. Not really seen anything too new from any of our runners yet. Dia's going to be giving us a lot of info here, but Anadel, remembering that warrior's chest, I believe, I think we're going to see a very quick dive down to it. You can see a left turn at the... Nope, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Anadel was looking for the chest, just forgot which one it was from. There's your secret path. Okay, here we go.
Just got a little lost
You know what Anadel forgot?
to resurrect his characters.
It's hard to guess Quake if your Quake kid is taking a little nap. Jen, there was a Moonveil at music and a Vanilla Dark Elf at music. Ah, Dia. Oh, okay. Shopping, I suppose. I was half expecting a cheeky play at the first fight in Zot and maybe the Flame Dog check, but.
And looks like the warrior chest is going a little sideways, not killing all 5 of them at once.
It really is impressive how much it matters to put, black magic boosting gear on a young Palom, in the high 20s, low 30s. You definitely want every spell multiplier you can get when you're making a run at trap chests like this.
And I actually don't remember, did anyone look at our bosses down here in the Fey March?
I don't think so. I remember shop loops. I don't remember actual peeks at them. Jeebus, by the way, finally diving into Eblin Castle.
And Tybalt giving us an encore of our music.
Gotcha. And our tracker again, coming in so clutch. It's Evil Wall and one of the guard fights, so nothing required here. Yeah, because we have seen the Baron guards in the back attack spot on Ordeal, so that does narrow it down to the Kaipo ones. Dia heading right into the Giant, not checking any of these other spots. She's on a boss hunt. She knows where to find a couple of them.
And actually, I'm quite surprised she's ignoring the chests in here, seeing as there is a key item in a trap.
She may be going in kind of expecting to not actually need to fight the second boss and instead does it on the way out, or may intend, let me check every single boss spot and then worry about key items. There are gambles you have to make to win a race of 19 people, and Dia definitely knows how to take those risks.
And we see the little baby ogres on Jeebus's side.
Baby mad or no talk. Me Angie. And that may not have been a key item, but I will not turn down an Avenger.
And a little bit of money armor to fund any further endeavors.
It is kind of funny. It's kind of a side effect of the trap chest flag being enabled. All our racers are really having to deal with inventory management issues tonight. Just very, very rude. Very tricky tonight.
And we see Dia setting up for what looks to be a D-machine grind.
Huh, did she not look at the boss first? Curious.
She did, but I did not see what the boss was.
Dr. Luge. Oh, yeah, no. That is one of my least favorite spots for Dr. Luge. His final form uses HP-based attacks, and that form has a lot of HP. So, just a very rude and annoying fight. One that Dia's team could get through right now, but why go through it now when you could go through it with a ton more levels?
And Antidale is taking on the Maga sisters here at the top of tower.
Jeebus getting a lunar staff from the second trap chest in Edlin Castle, finding the third here, so this will be cleared out fairly soon. And a Holy Lance. That's one of those Kane weapons that against the right foe will outdamage the defense sword. Against others, not so much. Notably, D-Mist and Octomammoth get Holy Resist.
And we have Swag Rocks on Antidale's side.
You love to see it. So at this point, I believe we are still missing this Maga Sisters fight. About half our trap chests in Sylph Cave, the Flame Dog chests, and then whatever boss is behind that package, and the first one in Zot. And we'll have seen everything the Blue Planet has to offer. Tybalt looking to, well, the Blue Planet has to offer unless we find a hook. But Annadelle giving us new knowledge, Tybalt about to give us new knowledge. What do we get from these two spots? Oh! Bet you wish you let Edward get some experience now, huh?
That's a spoon.
Spoon Flag is enabled. Edward can equip that 255 power dagger. The Flame Doggy has been roasted and put on a Frankfurter bun, just a white shirt. I say just, like that's not an amazing piece of gear for a white mage, but it's not quite what we're looking for. Wonder if Tybalt will give us the cheeky peek at the first boss up here. Oh, that is Tybalt heading deeper into the tower. I love to see it. He forgot he can't jump this week.
And Dia just kind of chugging along on her D-Machine grind.
So Annadale's in good shape here, clearing out these traps on the way down the tower. Oh wait, that was the hook! Did Dia miss that trap chest earlier, or did we just not see her pick that up?
That's a very good question, because she's made no move to turn anything, or turn in her, well, she doesn't have the rat tail.
Yeah, so Annadale has a few more options now. And of course, with that Maga Sisters fight, we do get a peek at whoever's at the Ruby spot. Did anyone catch that? I can always go to the clip if necessary. I wonder if one of our lunar bosses were there. Did anyone specifically catch who was on that telepod during the cutscene?
I did not, but there's a lot to look at.
There is. That is one of the advantages that we've had with the Football Gauntlet. A lot easier to keep track of 2 than of 4, but we love our racers. We love people coming out on these community races. We want them all to get some good screen time. But that's also why we have VODs. So let me click back through this just a hair. Okay, it is Antlion at Ruby. So not one of our required bosses, but King Queen Evelyn could still have one. Oh, chat, yeah, beat me to it. Well done.
And Tybalt finding a required boss here at the first spot at Tower of Zot.
Jeebus gets that hook, and of course that means that Dia should also have her hook at this point, because she definitely cleared out all 4 trap chests in here. But yeah, Val, no Earth Crystal. This is the Galaxy Brain kind of play that could win Tybalt this race. If that Earth Crystal is through a trap chest on the moon, if it's, say, in that last arm chest that Dia walked right past, really, really kind of a great find here for Tybalt. I dig it.
And Antidale picked up his Luca key. Hopefully he goes ahead and checks that sooner rather than later. And he has also got his hook, so he can check that rat tail.
Yeah, if that gives an Earth Crystal, that's good news for Anadel. Means that he will not spend too long ignoring Zot. That is actually going right for that Luca key.
And he will be greatly rewarded for that with his Darkness Crystal and a very free boss with his HP levels on his food.
I love that that Balnab explosion for quad 9s. Very strong robot. Very dangerous core. Dr. Luque letting everyone know that every rose has its thorn. Boo! Boo! I'll beat you to it, chat. And Dia making a point to use these Starvels. This is actually kind of important because see that 2,000 damage laser? That's actually reflectable.
That was a 7,000 damage laser.
Oh, okay. I misread. 7,000. 7,000! That's a pretty strong laser.
And the emission is also reflectable. Today I learned.
You know, it'd be great here. A Yong with a Thunderclaw. A Yong with a Thunderclaw would be just about right. Okay, the heal undoes the sleep effect. Thank you, Dr. Lugue. But that was still so funny that Dia got the Starville and the Bacchuswine set up, and then the counter gas to put a character to sleep landed right on the Zerker.
So rude. And Tybalt is heading into the Luca cave as well, going to be rewarded with his Darkness Crystal.
So Moon opening up for a lot of people, but another thing to keep in mind, only one of our 4 racers has completed a second objective, and that's Tybalt. Everyone's killed Odin. Tybalt added Val by doing the single dip into Zod, even. Everyone else still an hour in. Dude, where's my boss? Who wrote this?
And Dia taking down that Dr. Luggage, and we will see what that second boss is.
Well, the good news for Dia is that although she's only found one of the 4 required bosses, with her levels, her gear, her skills, she is going to tear through anything that stands in her way. The question is, will you find the path to the Val and your other 2 bosses soon enough?
And it looks like Jeebus is heading down to the Fey March. Is this his first visit?
I got nothing. Looks like it with the Slutin, though. We find Water Hag is the central processing. This is just a huge mecha suit for Water Hags. Did you know that about the Giant of Babel?
So that'll be an additional 150,000 experience just for free.
But Dia has, in doing this, orphaned the last arm chest. Can be very dangerous if that ends up having the Earth Crystal.
Yeah, that cutscene is nothing to mess with. It's one of the longer ones for sure.
I'm wondering what character. I'm excited to see what character we get here, though. Wonder if there's anyone she takes with her current team comp. Probably not her.
It is a white mage.
I love being proven wrong. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite things. Dia, prove me wrong. Adopt that white mage. Nope.
Yeah, that's a hard no.
So, did Antidale already find the Stellman chest, or is he just ignoring it and making a run at the boss?
He may just be ignoring it and making a run at that boss.
Maggie, you can always go back into the giant. It's not inaccessible. It's just kind of awkwardly orphaned in a way that you really... If there's something valuable there, Dia is not going back there for a long time.
Hey, would you like another Edward?
Always. More bards, please. We're getting the band back together. Extra Cane on the moon. Antidale, not having done a big grind like Dia did, might be tempted by that given the extra defense sword.
Nope.
So I'm guessing Antidale feeling a little behind, or at least thinking, you know, there's still 3 of these bosses we've not seen. We've cleared how many spots and only seen the one? Making a go at this. The real awkward thing will be, do you fight that antlion when you're done, or do you walk out? Because that antlion fight at Ruby is, it's not fun. It's not fun at all.
I'd also wonder if he'd walk back out and pick up the chests on his way, trying to pick up those key items. Because this is another place you don't want to orphan chests.
And I'm thinking, oh wait, I'm hunting wyverns. Yeah, I'll take that safety safe. Who are these bosses we have to find again? Oh yeah, okay.
No.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's Golbez. Very quick, beating a quick retreat out of there. Oh, we are going to see the Rat Tail turn in. An Earth Crystal here for Antidale would be huge, because that would mean every boss spot is actually open for him. Wonder if we're going to see a package check, too. Just a crystal ring.
Only of Leviathan in the D-Lunar spot.
Close, but no cigar. No gauntlet tonight. Thank you, thank you.
Ah, that's the one flag I didn't notice wasn't turned on.
Yeah, the classic gauntlet rather than Gauntlet 0. Down at the Ogopogo vanilla spot. Oh, well, loading. There's one! We found one, chat. That is boss number 3 for us in the booth and in the chat. That's number 2 on the list for Dia.
That's a very angry wyvern.
It is. I definitely do not like doing this fight at Battle Speed 1. For reasons well illustrated.
So at this point, for our bosses, that just leaves the Pale Dim spot, Bahamut, the second boss in Earth Crystal. Zot. There we go. I got there eventually.
The Lubaf in chat asking the rule set going on tonight. It is basically a boss hunt. Our racers need to find and kill Ogopogo, Wyvern, Valvalis, and Odin, and that wins the seed. I want Exodon to become the world's only Battle Speed 1 runner of the PlayStation port of Final Fantasy IV, just to prove that it can be done. For those of you in chat wondering why that's weird, is something with the port and the clock speed changes made it to where Battle Speed 1 and 2 on the PlayStation port from the Final Fantasy anthology, Final Fantasy Chronicles version of this game, it runs too fast for most mortals. And that's why I'm putting that evil on Exodon, because I believe in him.
And Antidale giving us the cheeky package check.
There is one boss unknown to us in the booth, and if this is it, good news for Antidale. But committing to the play, hoping it pays off. I will note that we do not have any finishers yet. We are about an hour 6 into this seed. No one out of our 19 racers is done. But Dia is our second racer on string to clear a second required boss. Tybalt, of course, found that cheekily hidden French vanilla Valvalis at the Magasister spot in spite of having no Earth Crystal. Everyone fought Odin up on Hobbs, and Dia has now cleared Wyvern all the way down at the vanilla Ogopogo spot.
And only finding a white spear from that. But it looks like we'll be seeing 2 new bosses on screen here in a moment.
Anadil nursing that Sid back to health. Dia about to show us the vanilla Wyvern spot. At this point, it's only Ogopogo who'd be able, not the Val you're looking for, Anadil.
Oh no, and it looks like Antidale has not saved in a little while.
Hey, he's fine. And Dia reveals us the 4th boss location for those of us here with our all-seeing eyes. That is Ogopogo at Wyvern, and we had Wyvern at Ogopogo. They're just trading spaces for the night.
It looks like Antidale is going to go up the Tower of Zot without the Earth Crystal.
Yeah, and that is the very important question for most racers in this. Where's the Earth Crystal? We know it's not required. You can find your vow without it. But how many people are going to come up here and check it without doing that first?
Yeah, and with the nasty trap chests here in the lunar subterrane, most people try to steer clear of them as long as possible.
Absolutely. There's still a few nice ones elsewhere that we could get that Earth Crystal, perhaps. The two trap chests along the hook route are both easy for our players at this point. The hairdryer chest in the lunar path would also be pretty easy, and the last arm chest in the giant. Nothing to worry about there. Some of the other ones, they'll be rude even with high-level teams. And of course, D-Mist could be blocking it, and D-Mist at this point is either at that second Zot spot in Cave Bahamut or at the Pale Dim spot.
And I know that demist in any of those lunar locations is no fun.
So Dia takes the lead at 3 of the 4 bosses complete, but is lacking some of the important knowledge that our other racers are. Tybalt, meanwhile, on his way down, gonna find his number 3 very soon. Magius in the chat asking what's left to finish. Well, for Tybalt, it's this fight and one more, and he'll be done. Dia has to either find an Earth Crystal or be willing to go to Zot, all empty and on its lonesome. Antidel has to get to the moon and hunt these other 2 bosses after dealing with Val. Jeebus is still at 1 for 4, though. Just Dark Imps here. So if D-Mist is not in Cave Bahamut, then D-Mist is necessarily the last available boss to see. That's funny.
And likely a boss that we will not be seeing.
The big question I'm wondering is if Dia will go right for the bosses on the blue planet that she has access to, or if she's gonna actually hunt an Earth Crystal. I think she will gamble and check those 2 spots instead of hunting for an Earth Crystal at this point. There's just, you're so deep in the seed, there's too much on the line, you kind of have to go for it. Hey, that confirms it. That's Ruby. So D-Mist is at the Vanilla Valvalis spot. Cute. Anadel actually peeking it, but you only get to see the Earth Crystal. I mean, the Golbez boss, not the one actually at the top of the tower. Anthony Nelms, it depends on where Dia goes. Tybalt's getting his 3rd boss done. Dia has completed 3. But if Dia makes these one-off checks, I think she will take the win out of these 4 featured racers.
And I believe Dia has not done Defensive Fabul yet.
Yeah, no Rat Tail. Does have a package, so going to be sitting through this cutscene. That actually gives Tybalt a decent little shot here. If Tybalt can make it through this Wyvern fight and get up and kill that Ogopogo before Dia makes it, because Dia's not done Twin Harp yet either. So Tybalt has a decent chance here. Antidel is a little in the weeds here. Jeebus didn't do Zot. So for our racers on stream, it's coming down to Dia and Tybalt. But of course, great performances by everyone tonight. They're all great racers of this game. Make sure you give them a follow if you like what you're seeing. All routinely do pick up races, community races, and you know, if you want to learn, paying attention to other good racers like these is a great way to do it.
And it looks like Tybalt's a little on the ropes here, looking for something that can help him out with this Wyvern.
Those Artemis arrows would have really been handy here on someone. But with that next nuke... Oh, Fu dodging it completely. Gonna need more, though. Fu just dodging all these plane nukes left and right.
Does not have enough for another nuke, though. Goes for the virus. Why do my Foos never dodge this many nukes?
Well, you cursed it.
And Dia seeing package is not required today. We'll see where she heads next.
Right location. Is she going north or into the castle, though? More Twin Harp, chat. More Twin Harp. And Dia giving Tybalt every opportunity she can here.
And Antidale finally raising up his lunar whale. We'll see how quickly he can get down to the lower lunar subterranean.
Tybalt about to take another swing at this wyvern. Jeebus found these dark imps here and is electing to fight them, maybe for the XP, getting a little extra levels on the team before continuing on.
And only getting his edge and Kane left alive, not who you want to see.
Yeah, it's just showing the real importance of having a curse ring for this wyvern fight. Even with that base level Edward, Eddie has such good innate speed that Fu can't quite hit relative agility 1 and get the Starvel off before the fight commences. And that Quack Kid, 457 HP, he's also way too slow at his current level.
And based on that hit, I don't know that Tybalt has the defense sword equipped on his Kane.
There's the cursed ring. All right. Now that should enable Tybalt to get Starvels up on the full team this time. And apparently also wants some actual levels, so gonna take the Leviathan fight.
And Dia does elect to take on this Dark Elf.
Well, really? I guess already here you want to see if there is an Earth Crystal, perhaps? Or, no, never mind. She's like, heck it.
And she is heading up to the Tower of Zot.
Now, I will say that oh, there's our first placed finisher, Zilch, with a time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, 26 seconds. And an observant person will see someone is typing on Discord to type their .done. You can PM it to the boss anonymously. I mean, not the boss, the bot, if you don't want to type it in chat. But if you see that, you can suddenly hit you that, oh no, I'm on a clock, gotta go fast. And we did see that reset there. So Dia looking to be the first one of our Restream racers to wrap this seat up. We'll find her Valvalus up here. Let's see if she can take second overall or if someone's gonna snipe her. And also very importantly, chat, after she gets this kill, pay attention to the credits. Help us figure out where that Earth Crystal was hiding. because my curiosity is abundantly piqued.
And Dia now has the good news that her last objective is standing here in front of her.
Jeebus has found the Wyvern. And we have a second place finisher. Korak has come in with a 1 hour, 18 minute, 36 second finish. Just about a minute 10 behind Zilch, so well done, Korak. Dia's looking in very good shape here. Dia cuts through that Valvulus. Time on this as soon as it pops up, all objectives completed. And there we go. Dia has finished in third place with a 1 hour, 19 minute flat. We'll see if we can get her in for an interview shortly.
And Antidale is doing the cheeky warlock grind up here.
And with that, we are joined by your third place finisher overall tonight. First place on the restream, Dia. Dia, GG's.
Thank you.
How do you like that?
And with that, we are joined by your third place finisher overall
tonight. First place on the
I
restream,
was
Dia.
so scared it was going to be the Earth Crystal near the end of there. Just like, just please don't let it be that. And luckily it wasn't.
Of course, this didn't come to pass, but if the Valvalis had not been there, if it was a case where she was at her vanilla spot, blocked at the last possible place, what was your intention for hunting the Earth Crystal? Where did you, what was on the agenda?
First stop would have been Sylph. That just seems to be like probably the highest density. Then I would be able to go down to Famor, get the first tree to check out of the way, since I never found Pan actually. And then from that, it just kind of depends. Maybe LST. And maybe those bosses I skipped out on there, so.
Ooh, well, watch out. The K-Moon and K-Summon were not on tonight, so you
yeah,
definitely
that's right.
Yeah, so you dodged a bullet there. We were worried about you because a couple of our on-screen racers did do a cheeky peek over and found that Vow early, but your grind gave you the levels to tear through those lunar bosses. Having Wyvern and Ogopogo swapping houses for the day definitely gave you a huge advantage there just through your power overwhelming.
Yeah. And at that point, I was, like, only had 3 bosses left and 4 spots maybe on Earth that I didn't check yet, so I figured there had to be at least 1 up there, maybe 2. So it's like, okay, we can just grind and it'll probably save time overall.
Well, you did great. Allie, do you have any questions for Dia?
Just how do you feel about this sort of flag set with all boss hunts, no other object?
I'm okay with the boss hunts. K-Trap always gets me though. That's the one that's just kind of like, where are the chests again? Because I just generally don't play this flag set, so that one's always interesting for me.
Well, GG's. Congratulations on being our first restreamed runner to finish.
Thank you.
Excellent performance as always. Looking forward to seeing you as pickup races resume, as Football Gauntlet winds down, and seeing these community races resume as well. Always fun to watch someone really great at the game who can just win on a wide variety of flag sets. So great watching you tonight.
Thank you. Oh god, it was in Zot? I mean, the Earth Crystal was in the Giant.
Oh, you're a little ahead of us apparently. So it was. So you can confirm it was that chest, the last arm chest you orphaned.
Yeah, I would not have found that for a long time.
Yeah, we said when you completed the 2 bosses there that if there was something important there, that would be the last place you'd probably go back to, just because of how annoying it is to fly there a second time. So
Yeah, but I knew that there was only 1 boss gated by Kiam at that point, so I felt pretty safe doing it.
Dathus nearly got you, but not quite tonight.
Yep. Alright, thanks for the restream, thanks for commentary and tracking.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Bye bye.
Take care, Dia. Reminder, everyone, make sure you follow the runners tonight. They have put on a show, and right now, just kind of enduring this really rude Wyvern and Ogopogo. We're seeing it across our other 3 racers all kind of simultaneously, and it's when you get these lunar bosses in lunar spots, all of a sudden, what seemed like your overpowered team the rest of the way through the seed has a few difficulties.
Antedale looks like he's in a good spot. Has 4 of his party members alive. Did move his Palom to the middle, so is losing out on that DPS.
I'm guessing his Edward is probably... Is he using the spoon or arty arrows? Arty arrows here would actually tear through the Wyvern even faster than that spoon, just because quadruple damage versus dragons. You'd be seeing some quad 9s from Edward here, probably.
Nope, looks like it's just the spoon, but 3,000 from Edward is not what you usually see.
Yeah. And I mean, you give someone a spoon flag, they're gonna savor that spoon flag. And yeah, no one picked up an adamant armor tonight.
It looked like that pink tail was kind of hidden down in the self cave. But Antedale does get through that Wyvern fight.
I'm curious though. Why is Tybalt back on Earth? Did he just come back for shopping because he couldn't deal with those fights and just needs the items and is gonna fly back? That hurts a bit.
I think someone said that he didn't have any life potions.
Oh, gotcha. We do have a 4th place finisher overall, Dusty Griff, finishing with a 125.43. Well played by Dusty, as always. Antedale on his way, gonna be finding that Nope Noodle very soon.
And with the levels he has on his characters, I don't foresee too many problems here.
Yeah, and chat confirming that Tybalt didn't have lives or cures, and that's, you know, kind of the... This flag set can be a little seductive, I would say. You get such good gear, you get that foo early, you have a team who can tear through anything and everything until you go to the moon. You get up here, and all of a sudden, if you've skimped on the item shops, you're gonna have a rough time. So definitely definitely hate to see it, but Tybalt's gonna get a few more levels here, knows where to go to wrap things up, and I'm sure he'll be doing a lot more calm and collected now with those items.
And we see the Bacchus wines coming out on Antedale's screen.
Ogopogo here is possibly even ruder than at its default spot. This spot has low magic attack, but Ogopogo mostly does percentage-based things anyway.
But he hits like a truck.
Yeah, and the physical attack here is even higher than at Ogopogo's spot. So it's like, hey, how can we take this snake and make it even more annoying? This is a great place to do so.
But looks like Antedale not having any problems and gets through his Ogopogo.
So as soon as this pops up, all objectives complete. Anadel has finished with a 127.49. GG's Anadel. We'll see if he wants to come in here for an interview shortly.
And thank you for the raid, Korek. And with that, I believe we are joined by Antidale, GG's friend.
Thank you.
How big did your galaxy brain feel when you found that Valvalis at the Maga Sister spot?
That felt real nice because that meant I could face check everything and just hope that it wasn't behind that Earth crystal. Definitely made up for the checking package and King Queen and coming up with nothing.
Yeah, we were a little surprised that you didn't check the trap chests on the way there, just in case one of them did have the Earth Crystal. It was the only boss that was still gated by anything, but it seemed that you were more swinging for the fences there instead of trying to be exhaustive by that point. Was it a function of how long the seed had been ongoing, or something else?
It was totally a swing for the fences. It was looking for a win rather than anything else, and just trying to find something in an out of the way spot. Because if it was in any of the other locations, then like I probably already lost if the Earth Crystal's in an easy trap chest.
Now, did you get to see where that Earth Crystal was hiding?
I have not yet. I haven't really been paying attention to the spoiler log as it was going on. Where was it?
It is.
Yeah, go ahead, Allie. I'm sorry.
It is in that lone chest up in the giant.
Okay. That was going to be after I got done face checking all over the moon. That was going to be the first chest I do. Since I was going to have to be in the giant anyway to check those bosses too.
But again, great job. That Ogo and Wyvern, very rude, but you handled them quite well.
Yeah, it would have been nice to remember battle speed after Wyvern, but that's all right.
Who remembers battle speed? Who would do that?
I learned it from you and Ben.
Hooray! May my bad habits be an example for everyone.
But do you have any other questions, Mven?
No, just well played. Glad that paid off for you. If it hadn't been there, of course, I'm sure there would have been a very fun scramble hunting for that Earth Crystal. So, GG's.
Thank you. And thanks for the restream, and have a great night, everybody.
Thanks. Have a great night.
And Tybalt did forfeit, but we're going to get him in for an interview anyway. Tybalt, GG's, just wasn't your night.
No, it wasn't.
If you could go back and do the seed over again, what, aside from knowing where things are, what kind of different preparations would you make, you think?
Probably buying life potions if I could find them. I have a feeling they're probably in Kaipo. It's one shop I really didn't check there at the end. And making sure my controller was fully set up. My controls were backwards halfway through. I figured out. That's why I reset out of Azura, because it was the wrong button.
Gotcha. You were the first of the featured racers to show us that Valvalis. We were very excited for you, and you had of our featured racers, you had a real shot at winning because Dia hadn't found that Val yet. You were in the LSC. Just definitely shows that a couple of those minor preparations can have really long-lasting impacts. But you played great otherwise.
Yeah, I was trying to get Fu online early on because I knew Fu would carry me through, and I know I got lucky for Fu dodging all those nukes there against Wyvern at the end. I was trying so hard, just didn't have the MP on him.
We were on the edge of our seats during that part. Allie, do you have any questions?
No, just nice job. Some nights just aren't your night, but I thought you did great. It was very enjoyable to watch. And I did really like that Wyvern fight with the 3 dodge.
Yeah, that's my luck. Yeah, one thing I wish I would have done better was probably doing better item prepping. For sure. Gotta get those life potions.
Well, and in this flag set, it's definitely easy with T Wildish on to forget about the basics because you're just so used to getting great stuff all over the place.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't see any. I mean, I saw decent loot, just not any adamants like I normally do. But
Yeah. What a tease for the community race flags. Adamant armors are re-enabled, and where are they? Who
Exactly.
ran away with the adamant armor?
yeah, and Death is rolling vanilla twice, with the Kanazo and Dark Elf. Both of them vanilla.
And that darkness crystal.
Oh yeah, that too. Almost forgot about that one. 3 for 3.
And then of course French vanilla swap with both. Did you actually find where Ogopogo was?
No, I have a feeling he was probably at I can't remember which one it was. It's another lunar subterranean one.
Yeah, it and Wyvern swapped houses tonight.
Yep. I figured that's where it was because I checked building at the end. I had a feeling once I saw the first dot done, I knew everything was available on the moon.
Well, GG's again. I mean, we're all not a week goes by that we don't all learn something, how to slightly change up our gameplay, how to have better preparation, how to deal with a boss a little better. So all you can do is learn from it. Don't feel bad about it, and I'm sure we're going to see you kicking butt in these in the weeks to come. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to it too.
Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Yep, you too.
That was Tybalt, everyone, and we have Jeebus. I don't think Jeebus has done that Val fight and is currently working through the Dr. Luggage fight. Going to be getting some good XP from here. You don't get the full amount because you can't have both Balnab and Balnab Z, but we do see Nuke learned on Palom. And of course, there's a very easy boss upcoming at the control unit, which will be another 300,000. That is 10 key items on Jeebus' screen. And then still has a little bit of hunting to do, but it shouldn't be too much trouble for him at these levels.
And giving us the poison walk. But I'm sure is very happy to see that water hag, but does reset out of it.
Not caring about the XP. Figures he is strong enough. Let's get out of here. Let's go find the bosses we're looking for. Oh, gotcha. He did clear both the spots on the moon. That explains those lovely, lovely levels. Thank you, Gambit. Got a little sidetracked, of course, during our consecutive interviews, but that is why Gambit is one of the best trackers in the business, not letting us make too many incorrect statements in the booth.
Yes, we've got a great team for commentary, tracking, and restreaming today. And you always want to be sure to give them a follow as well.
So Jeebus did not get that Earth Crystal, but has to figure at this point that, some things are just... It has to be somewhere, right? It has to be somewhere. Gonna check the freebies. I really hope that he remembers that you can do that at Magus Sister's location without an Earth Crystal. Fingers crossed. We also do have a 6th place finisher, PK4787 with a 135.58. GG's to PK.
And we see here in this lovely cutscene of the destruction of the mountains.
Well, while Jeebus is taking us into cutscene town, we'll give you a little bit of heads up on what's coming up this week. Shameless self-promotion incoming, I suppose. We are in the semifinals of the Fabul Gauntlet. There is me, Invenerable, versus Flurry14, one semifinal best of 3, and there's Rivers McCown and Moonblaze Wolf in the other. Those races start Wednesday. There's going to be one at 7 Eastern and one starting after that. Rivers Blaze at 7 Eastern. Me and Flurry, whenever that one wraps up. On Thursday, Rivers and Blaze will take down their second match. On Friday, Flurry and I do our second match. And then if third matches are required, those will be happening consecutively on Saturday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. So, I'm scared.
Lots of good at Free Enterprise going to be going on this week. Definitely want to follow all the channels that we usually broadcast on to get updates on that, or join our Discord to go ahead and see, go ahead and be able to see the schedule.
And Jeebus looks to be key item hunting. Going to, oh, pardon me. I don't know why I thought that was Evelyn. Heading into Dempsey and gonna launch the hovercraft. This does give access to the King-Queen spot down in Evelyn. We have a 7th place finisher. Dark Kobold is wrapped up with a 138.49. GG's to them.
And we'll see if he's going to check King Queen or just checking that key item location.
Yeah, Jeebus is missing a couple of the gating items that our other racers had. Got an 8th place finisher, Twisted Flax, with a 139.42. So looks like we're starting to reach that that middle percentiles where everyone starts coming in who, you know, didn't necessarily make the huge Galaxy Brain plays to get to the right spots. This is a K trap seed. There are a ton of trap chests that to cover. And if you don't go lower Babel for that Darkness Crystal, like several of our featured racers did pretty early, you're gonna be you're gonna take a little while finishing things up. And if you aren't familiar with how you can do that first fight in Zod even without an Earth Crystal, ugh, it's gonna trip you up a bit. Yeah, just to reiterate, the our bosses this game that we had to fight, well, Odin was on Hobbs, available from the start. Valvalis was available at the Maggot Sisters spot, also technically available from the start. Ogopogo and Wyvern, you had to fight a trap chest in Lower Babel. We started with a Magma Key. Lower Babel access, thus granted. You would have to fight a trap chest there for a Luca Key. Get through the Dark Knight fight in the Sealed Cave for your Darkness Crystal. And then clear Wyvern and Ogopogo, having swapped houses on the moon, both extremely strong. Some may say even stronger spots than their vanilla locations. They just like the decor a little better.
Gives them an opportunity to be a little bit ruder.
Have our 9th place finisher, Poydrak, with a 141.30. Oh, Ralphian, I know I'm not in. I'm in the booth instead of in the chat. Well, I'm in both. I think Ali and we mentioned this right before the race that we were hoping for some required lunar chests, and we didn't get them. Not a single dang one gating a required boss.
I'm very, very disappointed. But to answer that question, I have definitely missed the hairdryer's chest.
Always a fun one. Always a fun one. Yeah, I think one of the big things about this flag set that might have made it a little cheekier would be if the K unsafe flag had been put on. When you only have K main and you have the safety thing on, you're probably finding a way underground pretty quickly. If our racers had been forced to go to the moon to get their underground access, we could have probably seen a much meaner seat on our hands. So if you want to torture yourself just a hair, start adding that K unsafe into your practice seed mixes and see how you can work through the moon at low levels.
And it looks like Jeebus is just flying past these chests. Is going to go find his not required bosses down here.
Golbez is going to give us a hearty laugh. Wudge, I completely agree with that statement still. But in the 2v2 flag set we usually ran, it was because also lunar podiums could have key items. Here, with K-Trap, but not K-Lunar. K-Moon, pardon me. So it's very reasonable for a... oh, Jeebus. Yes, yes, yes. Go there. It's... I think, this is my opinion, if you have all the key item spots available in the game, lunar trap chests, they stink. They're bad most of the time, just because the key item spots on the moon end up getting the bulk of the goodies. But, you know, maybe if you're just doing K basic, K trap, K unsafe, all of a sudden you do have to get your underground access from the moon.
And those chests are nothing to sneeze at. Because you've got behemoths, you've got red dragons, blue dragons, undead dragons.
Moon maidens and warlocks. Yeah, Jeebus is making the right play here. We'll see his Valvalis very soon. We'll tear through her with his levels and team. No issues, so not getting too terribly rabbit holed, not having to go, you know, fight things hoping for a Baron key, for a tower key, anything of that sort. Checking his freebies first, and he is going to see one Tornado Bikini. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get this done, Jeebus.
I don't recall. Is it this spot that you cannot hit Tornado Bikini with nuke?
Right, right. And the funny thing is that you shouldn't be able to do it at her vanilla location either. There's actually a minor bug in Ward Face's... This is an old holdover from early versions of the game, where if a boss is at it was at its vanilla location, bad things could happen. Like King Queen Evelyn at their vanilla spot would sometimes, on no free bosses, would end up having the full like 65,000 HP to chew through. Valvalis is actually slightly held over from that. Although she does get Tornado Defense in vanilla, she does not get it at her vanilla spot in Free Enterprise. I think it's still on the bugs to fix list. And there's Jeebus's dot done. Coming in with a 146.10. I'm going to see if he is interested in an interview. Just 1 second, chat. Gonna keep us waiting just 1 moment. While he does, though, again, make sure you give these featured racers a follow. Don't mind, drop one down for the Restream team as well, putting on the show for y'all tonight. And make sure you get hyped for those Fabul Gauntlet races coming up later this week, starting on Wednesday. So, Allie, are you glad that you were in the booth instead of racing this tonight?
Oh heavens, yes.
Having to make the Galaxy Brain play to go do Zod would have been, ooh, yeah, that's the frustrating part.
Now, I always gamble. I would have gone Zod early. But with that, I do believe we are joined by Jeebus. GG.
Thank you.
So, we're very thankful you didn't go hunting more key items and check your freebies there. What was the rudest part of that seed to you? What part did you just, when you saw it, you said, I can't believe Dathis rolled this?
Well, it's just gonna be that last boss hunt. Every single time it's the last location, but...
Well, I would hope so. It'd be pretty...
Well, yeah,
You'd have to do a
but
bug
still.
report. You'd have to do a bug report if it weren't. Other than, of course, the last location thing, it happens on this kind of seed. How did you
absolutely.
enjoy the other aspects of the flags? Anything that stood out to you?
Not a whole lot stood out to me. There's that early foo on Hobbs, which made some of the early game routing interesting, because when you see that Magma Key start, and a Palom and a Cane, and you're kind of thinking, okay, do I go underground and try to find some sirens and then pop an egg and then, I'll have Quake on the kid. And I'm glad I didn't do that because it turns out the sirens were on the moon this time.
Yeah, we did have a couple of our racers immediately chase that underground. They did find one looting in the Fame Arch, but none for sale.
Well, that one's all you need, actually, so it's not that bad.
Oh yeah, but a foo start. I mean, that was basically a foo start. So you were
That was pretty close.
everyone was off to the races this seed. It was just a matter of where you went more than most of the other things, it seemed.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with K-Trapped when you're starting out and you have a Magma Key start. There's 12 trap chests underground, and then another 4 up on the surface, and you're just thinking to yourself, oh man, where is the darkness crystal gonna be this seed?
Yeah, and then I believe you actually check a lot of the chests in Sylph Cave, which a lot of our racers bypassed and thus didn't have quite that level of suffering, just having to deal with. Like, that is easily the rudest spot, I believe, on the Blue Planet on K-Trapped, just because if you don't have the right setup, it's going to just be a slog. So that was probably really the biggest factor. You may complain about the boss hunt, but it was just Sylph Cave, very rude.
Yep. Especially the double Morball fight. That's worse than the double Morball Evil Tree fight.
Oh yeah, because they it's kind of funny.
There's not enough of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not enough of them, so you can't run buffer or Quake. I'm pretty rusty at that, so that contributed a lot to my suffering this seed. But it is what it is. Rando gonna rando.
Always, but you still one of the best new racers of this game. Loved watching you in Football Gauntlet. Love seeing your success in pickup races and community races. Excited to see what we get next week, and I'm sure that you'll be doing a come back stronger. And maybe you don't have to worry about a last location boss hunt, and we're looking forward to seeing it.
Oh, thank you. I'm enjoying my time being here. This is one of the best communities I've ever been in. So. Shout outs to the community, to the Restream team, and to the development team as well.
Well said.
Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in for an interview. We definitely enjoyed it.
Yep, have a good night, everybody.
Take care, Jeebus. And with that, we are wrapping up for tonight, everyone. We're going to be sending a raid over to Microcorks, who is I'm uncertain if they're in this race, but they're definitely playing Free Enterprise. I'm sure our restreamer can clear that up for us. Or I could just, go look at the actual list. Yeah, Microcorks is still running the seeds, still hunting it down. So, of course, no spoilers in the chat. They are racing. Allie, last word tonight.
Just thanks for co-commentating with me, and like Jeebus said, this is one of the best communities, so I love y'all.